Hey everyone, Cheshire K here from Bonsai Pro. I've had a lot of people recently ask me about how I made my Cheshire costume, so I decided to make a little walkthrough video and show you how I did it, and hopefully that helps. If you still have questions for me and I didn't go into enough detail about certain things, you can find me on Cheshire K on DeviantArt or Bonsai Pro on DeviantArt. Either one works. I'll post the links at the bottom. If you don't have any DeviantArt, just try posting it under YouTube on this video. I'll try to answer them as quickly as I can, but I check DA more, but I'm working on it, I promise. I gotta go kind of fast here because I only got 10 minutes and I gotta go through the whole costume. So, we'll start with the gloves because I have a lot of people asking me how I did the gloves, and actually how we got Cheshire's costume done so quickly is we did sewing parties, which are your best friend, I promise you. We sewed for 13 hours straight, Oz and I. Thank you, Oz. Love you to pieces. So she did the actual scarf part, this part here that you'll see later, and she cut out the outline for the gloves. So I'll tell you how she did this, and then I sewed everything so then she could work on her costume too. Okay, so Cheshire, I'm warning you now, has not been clean, pressed, ironed, or anything since I wore it last at the other videos you've probably seen. So it's gonna look a little funky, and I promise it'll look pretty for Sabaton. Yes, we are going. And okay, let's get started. So with the gloves, Oz put out the fabric, laid it in half, because you know you want 2 pieces for each side. So 1, 2, 1, 2. That's how we had it. So we thought about this for a while, and she came up with the awesome idea of we laid it out, the fabric, and then took like Scotch tape or masking tape and made a giant outline of a hand. And then there was everything for that. So we just cut that out, and then we had a hand. So after that, I sewed on these guys right here, and I used elastic for these because they don't fray. So I hand sewed them on because I wanted to make sure they weren't going anywhere, and I wanted to line them up. So again, it's totally up to you on how you do that. So the tricky part about the gloves was I sewed them up to this point on the fingers, on every single one, and I did that because I wanted to sew the nails on, which again, just diamond shape, and it's 2 pieces. I sewed them together, and I had to sew the nails on myself, so I didn't want to have the machine sew them shut because then I couldn't get the nails on. So I stopped at this point, sewed the nails on, and then sewed it shut. Dad, I can't talk to me. And that's how I did the nails, and I did that for all of them. And then I stuffed it with pillow fluff, and I also did this. You see how I got the fingers to, for the most part, stay up, is I put little sticks in them. So there's like these little sticks just holding them up, and then you just fluff the crap out of them. So you can do like really cool poses with your arms. And the thing is, with the gloves, you will not have any arm movements for the day, because I also put elastic up here. So if you go with the bigger giant glove, you will not have arm movement, so make sure you're conning with a friend who can do stuff for you, or you can just take your arm out. I've had people make the gloves to where it's actually gloves, which is cool because you get a lot of cool nail detail, but I thought the big gloves were like awesome because that was like the coolest part of Cheshire, was having the giant arms. So it's totally up to your preference if you want to stick close to the anime or the manga, but again, up to you. So moving on, because it's cool the gloves are. So go to the scarf because that's the second most popular question I have. Okay, so how Oz made the scarf, as it's covered in my hair. Alright, so she started with this side, this strap, so she made a full actual strap, and then another full actual strap. So it looked like I was like Miss America to put the straps on individually and just, thank you for this award. You know, making fun of it. You have too much fun at sewing parties. But after we found out those fit nicely, because you want to measure them out to your body type again, she sewed them together right here, and then I had the X's. So there's the giant top of the scarf. And the bottom pieces here, they are actually individual pieces, and I have this the wrong side. Flip it over. So Oz cut out these big long pieces here. So it goes, you can see it goes wider and then gets small again, because I had to tie it together. And she hemmed it, so, you know, fraying, because fraying is the enemy. And then she just sewed it onto the X. And there's my scarf. Now for the bells, I've seen a lot of people go super crazy and get ginormous bells. You can if you want. I, again, with proportion to myself, along with the bell around your neck, you don't want to go huge because it was originally something that Alice tied to a cat. So you can see my bell, it's pretty small. Again, go with your body proportion. Yeah. And then the ribbon I use is just satin ribbon, and it matches the shirt. Speaking of which, let's move on to it. The shirt is going to look like a different color on this video. It looks a little lighter than it is. I have people asking me choosing about fabric. Now, fabric depends, again, on where you live. I live in Arizona. It's hot as hell. So, any Arizonian can back me up on this. So, during the summer, when we cosplay, we don't want incredibly thick fabrics. So, it's still a thin fabric, but it's really sturdy. Like, you can see it doesn't bunch or anything. So you want to go with a fabric that won't bunch on you, that won't stretch on you, something that you can wash but don't throw in the dryer because it'll shrink. Things like that. It's not hard looking for a fabric. Again, it's just eyeball it. Color-wise, print out a picture of Cheshire, and then, you know, try to match the best you can, and you're golden. So, the shirt was pretty standard. I made a shirt without sleeves, so I just took one of my shirts, and then, made this part here because that's what it looks like on the manga and the anime. So we did that, and then I cut out, again, eyeball it, just look at the picture, see where it starts on him. Cut this strip out, flipped it over, cut it out here. That's why it looks pretty identical. And make sure you measure it out so it's, you know, proportional. So, after that, took these nice little white strips, sewed them onto the back. Make sure you use the maroon thread so you don't get any white here, and that's how I got the white underneath. After that, I took yarn, because it's thicker and you can see it. I guess you could use different types of thread, but yarn worked for me. And then I just did cross-stitching, and then I got all the X's. And that's the shirt. It's pretty simple. Doesn't take long. The longest part that took was the collar. Those collars are evil. And then, you know, the invisible zipper in the back. Little tip if you're gonna do Cheshire, if you're gonna bind, make sure you measure yourself bound and then make the shirt so that it fits you nicely and just not all baggy on you. Alright, moving on to the pants. Again, pants aren't that hard. The only thing about Cheshire's pants is that they have to be skin tight on you because it goes down to your shoes and you want to look like one nice piece. If you don't feel comfortable making pants, I've had people do this. I wouldn't use the skin tight jeans that are black because you can still see the white flakes. If anything, get some nice dress slacks and fit it to you because you can flip them inside out and hem them to where they fit you pretty tightly. The only problem about that is you might get some bunching up around his waist and stuff because they have pockets and zippers, so just be careful about that. Otherwise, Cheshire and his tail. Yes, there's the tail. Again, I told you I need new maintenance on this costume, but I put it right around there, and I'm going to sew it on. And then it's two pieces so I can pull the tail off. So, you know, detachable tail, because sometimes I don't feel like wearing the tail. Okay, last but not least is the shoe, and yes, I did make the thing for the shoe, because I wanted a pointy shoe, like Cheshire has. And all I did was I cut this part out, so it was like that, sewed it together, and there was the slip. So I slipped it on, I filled it up here with pillow fluff again, like you use for the gloves. I measured a strap on it to hold it in place. Before I put the strap on, I'm telling you right now, I put this pleather on, which was the best idea I have had. Because we found out on the first Comic-Con, when I wore this around for about 10 hours, that the bottom of the shoe slip totally gets ripped into pieces. So, I would put something on there. It's worked out pretty well for me. And that's the shoe. Alright. And there you guys have it. That's how I made the Cheshire costume. I hope this helped you out. If you still have any questions again, feel free to ask. And I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.